Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. Yes, it has been a long while, but I've been recovering from food poisoning. But to say I'm very much better now. So absolutely glad that I'm over that. I definitely had no energy last week to do any shows. I couldn't be bothered, to be honest with you. And it's not for that I didn't want to do shows. Just the energy levels were sapped right out of me. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by John. How are you, John?
Big up to Tony, big up to the chat. Hope everyone's well. And it's been busy weekend for me. Everton went to Bath yesterday, and just been quite busy at the end of the day, Tony. So it's good to be back on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to be back. Sorry about the late start. I was having some trouble because obviously since I've been away and on holiday, and then obviously had the food poisoning, StreamYard have decided to update other things, and I couldn't find the live button. So yeah, but we got there eventually. So I do apologise about the late start on that one. Right, okay. So before we get into tonight's show, if you do enjoy what you see, then please do smash the like. It does help the channel up the search, and it means new viewers find it more easily. So smash those likes. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come in to subscribe, come be part of this great community. Also hit the bell notification. That tells when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. You can become a member. It's 99p a month. You can do that clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in chat, clicking on the dollar sign. All money reinvested back in the channel. Right, so before we get into tonight, yes, by the way, everybody, I did have a really nice holiday, by the way. Even though I did end up coming back with a little bit of food poisoning. I must admit, it's a really nice place to go, Rabat. It's the capital of Morocco. The people are really friendly there. I really did have a nice time. The weather was glorious. It was hot every day. It was absolutely beautiful. Some of you may remember, if you're on PD's Friday Night Show, I did make an appearance from Rabat and come on the show live. But yeah, look, it was a terrific holiday, let's be honest. Just a shame on the last day when I was there, my last day in there. That's when I had the food that obviously led to getting food poisoning. But, I'm back up and running. But no, like I say, wouldn't put me off going back there. Just wouldn't go back to that restaurant again. But yeah, look, all in all, as I say, the people are lovely. The food is really nice, second day I was there, because obviously the first day I got there, I didn't get there till like 11 o'clock at night. But the second day I went out to a restaurant at night time and had a lovely chicken tagine, which I must say was absolutely perfect. Beautiful. Can't fault it one bit. Getting 2 meals, 2 drinks, and a big bottle of water for like 12 quid. You can't go wrong with that. You wouldn't get that in the UK, let's be honest.
Definitely not.
But yeah, look, absolutely brilliant. Even when I had my Newcastle shirt on, people were on the markets, way shouting Newcastle, and so at least they knew, because a lot of people over there, they've got Man United shirts on, Man City shirts on, West Ham, obviously because of Aguirre. But yeah, look, really nice people, and I can't comment highly enough on the Moroccans. I thought they were really hospitable as well. And the hotel I was in, the man in the hotel couldn't do enough for you, let's be honest. I've got a few pictures. I don't know if there'll be any, if they'll show up much, but I've got one here, and there you go there. And what that is, that's the entrance there to the Hassan II Tower, which it's an unfinished mosque, and you've got horses outside with guardsmen on the horses. They're at either entrance, and it's free entry to go in there. It's quite a nice, peaceful surroundings. And all it is, it's an unfinished mosque, which should have been finished in 1199, but it didn't get finished when the king died. They decided not to finish on it, so they've left all the columns and everything there, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. So there's another bit of there's the Hassan Tower in the distance there. A little bit of information for you. King Mohammed is buried there with his 2 sons, That's inside the mausoleum, which you can go in as well and see his tomb and his two sons' tombs as well. That's from the hotel looking over the city of Rabat. Very beautiful place indeed. And another view of the city there. And the view on the river from a bar, which was quite nice. That's in the middle of a market. That's just one little side streets off a market. Very picturesque, very beautiful indeed. And obviously there's your cups of mint, teapots with mint tea in it, which I must say is absolutely delicious as well. Right, let's grab some comments first of all and see what's what. I've got Ian in the chat. He's been a member for 15 months. Thank you very much for your support. And he's also put a £2 super chat in. Good to see you back, Tony. Thanks very much, Ian. It's great to be back. It's great to be back, mate. Honestly, it's seems to be a long time. So anyway, let's go through these comments. Brian says, even 3 years ago, I remember getting the call saying, did you know Amanda and the team is down in Jasmine Dean House? You should have seen the state of that Tesco for cans. I bet. Sam Fender live on BBC One. Absolutely drunk, was hilarious, but low point was Wolves away. I was down there, absolutely drenched, soaked through my clothes. I think we all knew we were going down. I mean, yeah, look. Yeah, we'll remember that. The old Brucey bonus hair stand in the rain. We went 1-0 down. Huang He Chan scored the first goal for them. Then, of all people to score an equaliser for us was the Irish Pirlo, wasn't it, Jeff Hendrick? And then, but then again, Huang came back and hit us with a second sucker punch. And we thought that day, we just thought, you know what, this is what we've got to put up with for the rest of the season. You know, and we didn't know in a few days later that the takeover was going to happen, did we? So, yeah, great. Love City taking the Premier League to the cleaners. Good luck to the Red Cartel. All eyes on Peter Silverstone now to get the sponsors in. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit more detail. Wacky says, evening, Tony Nolan chat. Good evening to you, Wacky. Good evening, says Julie. Evening to you as well. Wacky says, so what is not fair market value when a club's expanding revenue, profit constantly, and value of the club is now like treble of what it was bought for? How do they work out what's fair and who decides? Exactly. That's what I always thought. I always thought this was anti-competitive, if I'm honest. Mason says, John, saying GGMU.
I tell you what, Mason, I think you talk more about Man U, right, than you do in Newcastle. Yeah? If you want to keep talking about Man U, speak to Mark Goldbridge, yeah? I'm sure he'd love to take you on.
Brian says, glad to hear you, Tony. I bet you sat on the eater for a while. Oh, honestly, Brian, I had it for like 5 days. So, yeah, let's just say it's been well and truly used. Evening, Tony, says Martin. Good evening to you, mate. Wacky says, Teddy Bear Mason. Pete WW says, hi, John. Tony, as always, looking forward to the stream. Cheers, Pete. Thank you very much. Peter. Martin says, greetings to the sexy Mr. Sinclair.
Yes, Martin.
Jason says, hi, peoples. Bunged up with flu. Hope you're all good. Get well soon, mate. Get well soon. Wacky says was probably in the flight meal, Tony, or the drink that did it. No, it wasn't, mate. It was at a restaurant in Rabat on my final day. I didn't know that I had anything dodgy, and it wasn't until I was home, and it was the Monday, and then when I really knew it was the Tuesday, I just didn't feel right at all. So, yeah, it was definitely nothing to do with the flight, that's for sure. Scott says, hi, Tony and John in chat. Good news for Apt 1 Bills sponsorships coming in for St. James's Park. Absolutely. Yabba says, hi, Tony, hi, John. My thoughts against Everton. I think Gordon screwed us over. Pickford went to his left, and if Pickford was in the middle, Anthony Gordon was aiming for Pickford crown juice. Well, yeah, I mean, look, I was disappointed with that penalty, but if you listen to Pickford's interview at the end, he's actually spot on. He said, the last two penalties Gordon's took have gone to the right. So he says, I thought, well, he must be going to go to the left this time, so that's why I stayed and went left. He was right, wasn't he? Were you all inclusive? No, I wasn't, mate. No. I just paid. No. Done flights and hotels separately. Sometimes I try and keep off these companies because I try and do it all myself. Yeah, I find it's cheaper when you do it yourself rather than a package deal because you pay a little bit of commission. So I'd rather try and do it myself if I can. But wasn't all inclusive. Wacky says West Ham shirts in Morocco sounds like my club are buying fans and giving them free shirts away. I think it was because you've got Aguirre who plays for you, the defender who's Moroccan, and obviously they're mad on that football mad over there. Let's be honest, they really are. The amount of fake shirts is everywhere. It's madness. It's like you pay £4 for a shirt. Didn't see one Newcastle shirt hanging up, by the way. The day we were playing City, I had my Newcastle shirt on, and you know. It was, I even passed people who had Man City shirts on and just shook my hand, So, as I say, friendly bunch they are, the Moroccans. Good evening, Tony and John, says Gary. Good evening to you, Gary. That's nothing, Tony. You should see John's video of the exotic city of Bath. Do you know what? I've been to Bath before. It is a beautiful city. It's a very, very old city, but it's a lovely city, Bath. It really is.
And by the way, guys, if you do go on to my latest vlog, latest channel, or latest video, and please, just smash a like, will you? That'd be brilliant. You know what I mean? I need some more numbers. I'll put a link on in a bit.
Jason says, John, you look paid off, mate. Cheer up, man. You will get back to winning ways one day. But seriously, hope you're okay.
Let's put it this way. If I was on red, I'm not going to be like Saeed. I'm not going to be mad as Goldbridge. I'm not going to be mad as, Flex and all that as well. So, listen, just they'll not be happy, though.
Right. Brian's got a question, John. He says, if we are rebuilding St. James's Park, where would we play? We can't use the Mackham's ground. That's a good point, Brian. And look, the one thing I do want to say on this, right? They're looking at like maybe either building a new stadium, but then if you want to rebuild St. James, you have to knock it down and start again from scratch. So yeah, where would we play? To me, look, I know fans are saying we don't want to move from St. James's Park. I understand that. We've been there a long time, since the club was formed. But sometimes you've got to move for the times, unfortunately. And if we want to build a stadium that's going to be multi-purpose, say, for instance, that we're going to use it for all sorts, like how Tottenham use theirs for like American football and concerts and everything. That, some, not saying us using it for American football, but like concerts and things like that. If you want a super stadium, then sometimes you may have to build a new one and move away from the ground where you originally were. Now, look, we saw Eddie Hope, Tyneside Live, he puts things out there, that looking at the Lasers Park and all this sort of thing. Look, if they built a new ground that was still within the city, then I won't have a problem with that personally. Because what you could do is, if you've got a new ground somewhere within the city, and I mean in the city centre, and you can keep St. James's Park there as well, you could always give St. James's Park to the women's team. But if, say, you had to use some of Elisa's Park to build a new stadium, but then knock St. James's Park down to then bring that extra bit of Elisa's Park back in line, then would I have a problem with that? Again, possibly not. No, I mean, John, what's your feeling on this? I mean, we've got to go with the times, haven't we? I mean, look, I would love it to stay at St. James's Park, but if it's not viable, to build a bigger stadium on that ground, then it looks like we're going to have to move, John.
100%. Excuse me. Yeah, listen, I mean, let's look at other clubs: Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Man City, right? Even Sunderland, yeah? They all have to move stadiums to move for the times. Here we are, right? I know Newcastle fans are going to come up and say, look, stay at St. James's Park, yeah? I would love to stay at St. James's Park without a choice, but I don't think it's viable at the minute. I mean, the East Stand will extend. The Gallagher can't go any further, right? But move it to Leicester Park. If we just move it up a little bit and move it up to Leicester Park, yeah, build a new stadium. Yeah, they got to move the times. Because at the end of the day, these owners are so ambitious, yeah? I mean, let's be real, right? I mean, it's got to be done. If you're going to move stadiums, right, to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Juventus in the many, many years to come, then we've got to have to move stadiums. You've got to have to build a new stadium to compete, yeah? We've got to compete with them, yeah? But I'm afraid to say, we all love St. James's Park, but we've got to believe in these owners, right? And let's be honest, if you have to move to Leicester Park, let's do a new stadium, yeah? It's still with the same atmosphere. We're still going to be loyal. We're still going to be behind the lads, yeah? We still have the same passion, yeah? But we have to move with the times. Do you know what I mean? The one thing I will say, Tony, at the chat, we still have a better atmosphere. And I hope Mancunian is not listening to this. I love Martin, by the way. We're still going to have more passion. We're still going to have a better atmosphere than he had, yeah? So I'm fortunate to say, Tony, 52,000 ain't enough. It's not enough, yeah? We got so many people on the waiting list, yeah? But I think you need a stadium between 70 and 75,000 just to keep up with the big six at this moment in time, yeah? For me,
yeah.
And also, we do get a new stadium, right? That'll help us with the FFP PSR, yeah? Then we'll be able to compete. And by the way, because what happened to Man City today, we can compete. We can get some sponsorships now because the Premier League will not turn us down because what they don't want is another court case against us. Because I tell you something, Tony, the Saudi were absolutely having for breakfast. And cook them, roast them, then toast them, cook them, marinate them, right? And that's exactly what they're going to do. So I think the Premier League will think twice of taking us on, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you think of things like having the new, if it was a new stadium or whatever, I mean, you've just seen like in the past, like, you know, in the summer there, Taylor Swift concerts, you know. We could have Taylor Swift at, say, St. James's Park. Can you imagine how much money that not only brings into the city, but brings into the club as a whole? I mean, that would bring a hell of a lot of money in because the food outlets would sell out. You'd be able to sell merchandise. You know, and not only that, the whole of the city would be buzzing because you'd have all the Swifties coming in and the bars, the restaurants, the shops, they'd all be busy. So, you know, the tills will be keep rolling all day. And, you know, when you bring someone like Taylor Swift in, who's a global superstar, you know, how much money you can make out of that. It's just absolutely amazing. We've seen it on the TV, you know, like Wembley's made a hell of a lot of money from it. And, you know, so, yeah, I mean, that's what we need to be aiming at in the future as well.
Yeah,
getting people like that on board.
100%, Tony, 100%. But don't let Lauren hear you say that because she cannot stand Taylor Swift, right? I mean, me and her have a bit of a banter about Taylor Swift. She is a world-class superstar, do you know what I mean? And I tell you what, music fans aren't daft. They see talent when they see talent, yeah? And this one, Taylor's just world-class. Imagine Taylor Swift coming to Newcastle. I'll buy a ticket for her. I'll buy a ticket. I'll be there as well. You know what I mean? Whatever much it is, yeah? Because that'll sell it in a day. Yeah, but that'd bring money into the club. It'd bring money to the Newcastle United. The more money, it's a revenue maker. The more money you make, the more you can spend on better players at the club. But that's what you need. You can even have American football up there as well. Do you know what I mean? You've got to move. You've got to move with it, man.
Martin says, I'm disabled due to a road traffic accident. Can't walk, for that's why I need all-inclusive. Got 140 bits of metal holding me holding me together, my hips smashed through my pelvis. Oh, mate, that's not great, is it? I mean,
Nah,
big up to you,
sorry
Martin,
to
as
hear
well.
that,
I mean,
Martin.
yeah.
Get
I
well
mean, look,
soon,
I've
man.
done all inclusive before, and I think all inclusive's absolutely fantastic, mate. And yeah, I can't imagine the pain you go through with that as well. I mean, gosh. Gateshead Stadium, too small, Yabba, in it, unfortunately. Do you think they'll relocate Lee's Terrace brick by brick? That's a possibility, isn't it? Wacky says, would our health and safety executive allow use of a flat pack stadium? I don't think they'd like 50 or 1,000 fans. I mean, look, the thing is, you go back to the World Cup in Qatar 2 years ago, and they had a lot of these, what you call a flat pack stadium. They were using containers, shipping containers, temporary stadiums, and they were absolutely fine. They were absolutely fine. Now, look, we know the arena's marked for housing or whatever it is. But look, if that was flattened and say you wanted to rebuild St James's Park, and it would take a couple of years to rebuild it, maybe, like they did with Tottenham with White Hart Lane when they knocked that down and rebuilt it. They obviously had the luxury of using Wembley. Now, look, if the arena site was flattened, then you could maybe speak to the people who are going to put the houses on, and you could say to them, look, it's going to take 2 years to rebuild St James's. We want to put a temporary stadium here. The club will pay the money to you for the couple of years, that you're having to wait to build while we get our stadium rebuilt. Now, if that was the case, then I would be happy with that. Absolutely. And I'm sure fans would be okay going to a temporary stadium, because if you look at them ones in Qatar, you wouldn't have thought they were a temporary stadium if nobody had said that they were. And they can be built in no time. So I can't see a problem with a temporary stadium, in all honesty. Not for me, but as I say, it all depends on what the owners are doing. But I don't think we're going to hear anything more about this until January. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that one. Julie says Sam Fender, Sting concerts, Cheryl. Yeah. I think PIF would love to build a complex like City, training pitches, Leicester Stadium, etc. Possibly retail outlets like Real Madrid have. I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. Wacky, absolutely, mate. Coffee says hi, John Tony and all. Hi to you, Coffee. Colton says, does Lee's Park bring in massive revenue? I mean, look, it's not like it used to be, is it, Lee's Park? I mean, you used to have you've got the lake there, but you used to have the boats there, didn't you? I mean, I remember the boats. I mean, Jesus, I remember going on them when I was a little one, I used to love it. But now I don't think they have boats there no more. So really, it's just a park, isn't it? Just for someone, if you want to go out and stretch your legs or what have you. But it all depends how much, if we can move anything, if we can move anything out of there, and then maybe move the stadium into there, maybe, and then whatever's, and relocate whatever from Lee's Park into where St James's Park is. I'm sure the owners are looking at everything. Thank you to whoever gifted a membership to Coffee. EFC always says, John and Co, big up, big time. Thank you very much, EFC. NUFC says, John, any view of Harry Drew from the under-21 should be pushing for the first team soon?
Harry Drew, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Harry Drew, to be fair. Have you watched him, Tony?
No.
Not at all, but I'll check up on that one, by the way.
Cheers, yes. Thank you very much, EFC.
Yes, AFC always. Big up to Sophie, by the way.
Alan says, evening, guys. Won't know what they are going to do about the stadium till January. So also got to think about business in the city, the money it brings in match days. Absolutely, Alan. That's what I've always said. I don't want a stadium outside the city. I want to stay in the city because I want to see the revenue continue to come into these shops, because if you take it out of the city, you could take everybody out of the city then, and the city will end up being a ghost town, and that's not what you want to see. They wouldn't keep St James's Park for the women, cost too much to maintain. Yeah, maybe. Coffee would love to go to a Taylor Swift concert. Julie's not a Taylor Swift fan. Miley Cyrus. Yeah, absolutely. Pablo says even more Tony, more John. Master's out. Hi, Pablo. Hope you're well,
Big up
mate.
Pablo.
Well.
Big up Pablo.
Brian says Taylor Swift made Liverpool £400 million in 5 nights. At Wembley, she made 700 million quid.
Flipping heck.
That just shows you the revenue that you know. I mean, look, yeah, it does. It brings you a lot of money in. Julie says Taylor Swift went to Sunderland and survived. So did Beyonce. Yeah, absolutely, they did. Mama Flossie says, "Evening, John and Tony. Good evening to you."
My favorite mod. Big up, Mama. Hope you well.
Yes, St James's Park too big for the women. If they move, I think it's valuable. Probably to be redeveloped for housing or shops. Says Alan as well. Yeah, maybe. Qatar's a different country, different safety standards to here. We really are strict. Yeah, but I think they would be down to stringent in checks first of all. NUFC says, if we had to pick between beating Man United or Liverpool, who's your pick? Well, I want us to beat both, mate. No, I don't want us to. I wouldn't want to just beat one or the other. I want to beat both. I really do. Sponsors income. I mean, look, John, go back to this thing. So, Man City today have won this case. So they successfully took on the Premier League, and obviously they've won this case. And look, we know the likes of ourselves, Everton, Forest, Chelsea. We're all supporting Man City. We all went there as witnesses for City, which is great news for the league. The fact that even Forest and Everton joined on as well, which is like fantastic news. On the other hand, these teams are the ones we remember because Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, West Ham United, Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Wolves all decided to side with the Premier League. So you teams, your card's marked now because you haven't been successful. Now, they've all voted against Man City and all of us being there for City. I mean, John, what do you make of that? I mean, those teams, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, West Ham, Brentford, Fulham, Bournemouth and Wolves, all siding with the Premier League.
Well, if they start the Premier League one day, if you want to compete for the best, you could get your buns bit. Well, yeah, do you know what I mean? I can't believe that. Do you know what I mean? The reason they started the Premier League, so they're stopping teams like Newcastle spending millions and compete and upset the big six. It's just simple, Tony. Do you know what I mean? But the one thing I'm going to say, because Man City won their case today, it is a history moment here. Yeah, Man City have done it. Yeah, and that can only be good news. Not just Man City, that can open the doors for us, so we can compete. We can start getting big sponsorship coming through now through Saudis, and the Premier League just cannot turn us down. But the teams inside of the Premier League, they're going to be quaking their boots, Tony, because I tell you what now, they've been spending. We can't spend because of PSR, FFP. Yeah. So they defeat the object at this moment in time. So I think, Tony, right, I think now they need to look over the shoulders now because now City have won. If we can get those sponsorship come through the door at St James's Park, I tell you one thing, and let's be honest, Tony, we're going to take off now. we're definitely going to take off, because the Premier League, and quite rightly, I've got it so wrong. They stopped anti-competition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think clubs like Arsenal, they could be in the spot of bother, because they spent 200 mil or borrowed 200 mil, right? They could be in the spot of bother soon. Man United could be in the spot of bother as well, because of this 40 mil for COVID payment to stop them from getting caught. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you something now, people are scared. They are scared now. And if you get this sponsor coming in, Tony, and I think the Saudis are ready to go. They can do it now. They can just say, right, you know what? We're going to do this now. Yeah, get the sponsorship coming in. Because City's won. Also, the Premier League has won as well, haven't they? They celebrated the win as well. But what can the Premier League do now? Because I tell you something, it's not a good look going to the 115 charges coming up soon. It would not be a good look for them. So I think the Premier League may as well just say, you know what? We're not going to beat Man City. We should just call it quits. Because they're already embarrassed on once. They could very, very well do it again. Simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, right, I'm just looking at the BBC. So what the BBC are saying is, this is right. So the BBC are saying the witnesses for the Premier League include Man United, which we know about. We know they're up their backsides, up Richard Masters. Liverpool, they're another one. Arsenal, Tottenham. Surprise, surprise, Levy's up his backside. Brighton and West Ham. Now, Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham and Wolves wrote letters in support of the APT rules before this verdict. So, basically, Simon Leaf, who is he's a partner and head of sport at a law firm, says, whilst the decision will be embarrassing for the Premier League, because in a couple of narrow areas their rules have been found to be unlawful, generally speaking, the decision confirms that the vast majority of the APT rules are indeed lawful. He says, therefore, whilst we can expect to see some changes to the rules going forwards, on the whole, this isn't a resounding victory for Man City by any stretch. The Premier League has called for a meeting next week to discuss the implications of this judgment. Now, Nick DeMarco's been speaking as well, and he's put out on Twitter, he says, today we have finally been able to read the written reasons in Manchester City versus the Premier League arbitration about the legality of the Premier League's associated party transaction rules and their application. He says, as often with these cases with lawyers, both sides have declared victory. The truth is somewhere in between, with each side winning on different issues. The fact, however, that part of the Premier League's APT rules have been declared unlawful is significant. Just a few days after the European Court found part of FIFA's transfer structure was unlawful, and coming not long after the ESL case in the European Super League, that FIFA and UEFA rules were found to be unlawful. So the decision of the FA rule arbitral tribunal that the FIFA and FA's cap on football agent fees was unlawful. The case represents another example of the increasing tendency of courts and tribunals to hold sports regulators close to scrutiny than has previously been the case. In particular, where economic activity is involved and where the issues of freedom of movement and competition law arises. In addition, some of Man City's wins in the APT case were based on English public law principles and procedural fairness. He says, I have been inundated with media requests to discuss the decision, which I must decline and say no more than I do on here for now. Many of the clients I advise will have various issues and interests that will arise from the decision, so it would be inappropriate for me to speak about it now, express my own opinion. All I can say is we are now living in the most exciting time for sports law. I have never myself been one to celebrate the greater commercialisation and therefore legislation of sport and its regulation, but it's a real fact of life and economic activity such as this tendency for greater scrutiny of sports regulation is inevitable. It does perhaps also lend further support to calls for greater independence and transparency in the regulation of sport. So basically, what he's saying there is he doesn't want to delve too much into it, which is absolutely fine because obviously he's represented Newcastle United as well. So and he's represented Forest as well, I think. So look, he doesn't want to go too far into it, but he's right. There's lots and lots of stuff coming out now, John. Lots and lots of stuff coming out. You know,
Yeah.
we saw the ex-Chelsea player Diarra successfully challenge FIFA. So look, a lot of these rules are going to start getting broken down and broken down and broken down. What's your take, John?
Yeah, 100%, Tony. This is all going to come out now. Like, look at the back of the papers tomorrow morning. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of news to come out. It's going to be mixed news, obviously, but that doesn't look good for the Premier League, Tony. It really doesn't.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's embarrassing for them. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone said the Premier League is powerful, yeah? Richard Masters, yeah? Thinking, no, he's untouchable. Do you know what I mean? He keeps saying it's watertight, and also he keeps saying that you're not going to get beat. I mean, they're happy to take on anyone. It gets steps in their way. Today, they got found out. Absolutely found out. And I think DeMarco's come out and said the right things there. He really has. But it'd be interesting to see what Keith Patterson says as well on his Twitter post as well. Every time he speaks, I think the guy's interesting and he's normally right. But this is just the beginning, Tony. More's going to come out of this. And I tell you something, it ain't looking for the Premier League. I don't think I'll give Masters to the end of the year. He'll be gone. He'll be gone.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we know why this APT came about. If you remember, some, you know, we've seen leaked emails online about it. Obviously, once they knew they couldn't stop this takeover coming through, they knew that, you know, they had to try and do something to try and stem us and slow us down. Then once Amanda Staveley wanted the Sports Direct signs taken down because she was sick of having a photograph and being a Sports Direct sign everywhere, she had a photograph in St James's Park. As soon as started taking them down, we all remember Leicester City's owner decided, whoa, hang on a minute, they're going to start getting huge sponsors and we need to put a stop to this. And that's why he got that vote thrown together quickly and they voted for it. So we don't forget Leicester on that one, by the way. But, okay, it's not a clear-cut victory for Man City, but they've won the most important parts of the tribunal. And, you know, it just shows you it was unlawful. And when it's unlawful, and do you think as well, do you think with Man City having this little moral victory, do you think this now could put a dent in that 115 charges against them now? Do you think there may be things that may get picked out of that now and they may think, hang on a minute, you know, who knows? I mean, I'm not a Man City fan. Obviously, I'm a Newcastle fan. If Martin was in the chat, I'm sure he'd say it, but I'm sure Martin's smelling tonight and probably a lot of Man City fans are probably all thinking the same. Well, actually, hang on a minute. This may actually help them in favour of the 115 charges. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, no one knows what's going on in the 115 charges trial coming up soon. No one knows. But that could strengthen City's case going into it because I think they might be guilty on some of them, but not all of them. But I think it's going to come to a case where it's like, you know what? We just call it a day and just say settle out of court, you know what I mean? Because let's be real, they don't want to relegate Man City because they got that and they need Man City in the Premier League. Simple as that. But very interesting that, Tony, but it doesn't look good for the Premier League at the minute because what they have to realise, it's been found out today, they've got the strongest lawyers in the world. Yeah. So it's the Saudis, of course, but they got the best lawyers in the world. And the Premier League, they got caught by the pants down today because let's be honest, once you beat the Premier League, it doesn't look good on the Premier League, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It
doesn't look good.
Well, it's not good at all. It's not a good look for the Premier League, is it? You know, I mean, it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see what the Premier League come out with as well. You know, but like Manchester City have said in their statement, they focused on the two areas what they won, and they said the clubs claimed that the Premier League is being found to abuse its dominant position.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely spot on.
There are two, I mean, they're just bully boys Premier League, do you know what I mean? I mean, look, it just goes to show that Richard Masters doesn't say much, doesn't he? He doesn't say a lot when it comes to things like that. He knows what's going on. The bottom line is, he just hasn't got a clue. If you have Richard Scudamore now as the chief exec and not Masters, I'll tell you what, Tony, Newcastle would have been competing with the top 4 every season. But this guy, I don't even suppose he's a Villa fan, right? He's a Villa fan, so he doesn't care. Masters. He's a Villa fan. So he probably wouldn't care. Because he did not want this takeover. He didn't want this takeover to happen. He didn't. And now he brought this case in. And another thing, Tony, right? I'm going to touch on this as well, right? Surely now the PSR, one of the top guys today in the courts, said they may as well just scrap PSR. They have to, because it's clearly not working, Tony. They have to scrap the PSR and the FFP. Won't work.
I mean, obviously, Dan Rowan saying that both sides are claiming victory and the truth in the judgment contains something for both City and the Premier League. But the panel's ruling on the exclusion from the rules of interest-free loans from owners to their clubs has led to concerns that the clubs could now be hit with additional costs that they were not anticipating. This means that some are now in danger of breaching PSR regulations. The suggestion is that such loans will now be subject to commercial market rates of interest. So that will now have major ramifications for those clubs that own tens of hundreds or even millions of pounds to their owners. They said the Premier League seems relaxed with that issue, along with speculation that City and other clubs could seek compensations for any losses suffered by the rules. So technically, clubs who have got loans from their owners, they could be hit with this. And I tell you what, they could just be, that muck could just be about to hit the fan for the likes of Man United and your Arsenals. And do you know what? That's called karma.
Chelsea. Could it be Chelsea as well, possibly?
Well, Chelsea were siding with Man City, weren't they? So, yeah, no wonder Chelsea were siding with Man City. Yeah, of course they are,
I tell you what, that doesn't look good for Arsenal, though. Or Super Duper Mick. I'll tell you what, he said it's disgrace. It's going to be more than a disgrace, this guy. And my guy, Lee Gunner, is going to be absolutely furious. AFTV, judges. Oh, man. Not good.
Manchester City have released a statement, by the way.
Yeah. What did they say?
And so this is their statement. Following today's publication of the Rule X Arbitral Tribunal Award, Manchester City Football Club thanks the distinguished members of the tribunal for their work and considerations and welcomes their finding. The club has succeeded with its claim on the APT rules, which have been found to be unlawful, and the Premier League's decision on 2 specific Manchester City sponsorship transactions have been set aside. The tribunal found that the original APT rules and the current amended rules violate UK competition law and violate the requirements of procedural fairness. The Premier League was found to have abused its dominant position. The tribunal has determined that both the rules are structurally unfair and that the Premier League was specifically unfair in how it applied these rules to the club in practice. The rules are found to be discriminatory in how they were operating, because they deliberately excluded shareholder loans. As well as those general findings on legality, the tribunal has set aside specific decisions of the Premier League to restate the fair market value of 2 transactions entered into by the club. The tribunal held that the Premier League had reached the decisions in a procedurally unfair manner. The tribunal also said that there was unreasonable delay in the Premier League's fair market value assessment of 2 of the club's sponsorship transaction, so the Premier League breached its own rules. Basically, Man City had a couple of sponsorship deals and the Premier League still haven't ratified them. Now they're trying to say they were short-staffed. What a load of bollocks. I'm sorry, that's bollocks. At the end of the day, what it is they've done what they've done with ours. They've just been sitting on them and said, we're not interested. And, well, I hope now that they are interested because,
100%.
they've got to now they've now got to sort them sponsorships out for Manchester City and put them through.
And first as well. What about for Newcastle?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but just obviously that's City putting that statement out. I think there's a lot more that's going to come out of this. And it wouldn't surprise me if Masters did resign, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he might be up to his neck in it.
100%. And I'll tell you what, though, he's going to be thinking, right, I'm not going to handle this. I'm going to walk away from this. This is too much. Because he thought he'd get away with it. He's at a different level now he's ever been before. And he's got to sort it out. Is he that guy? I don't think he is.
Yeah. What he says, FIFA and UEFA will now make new rules to keep clubs in Europe on par with Premier League clubs. Transfer fees, wages will skyrocket now. Premier League's got to be careful, says Colton. What Saudi have to say is who wants to earn $500,000 a week. And that's the Premier League finished.
I tell you what, though, I think Colton's got a good point there, 110%. I mean, it's going to come to that, $500K a week. And I tell you what as well, I mean, the FIFA now is coming and saying it's going to be online. That's interesting. But they're going to make up rules and rules and rules, Tone. They're going to make it up now. The Premier League, I'm pretty sure, are going to change the rules again to stop us from competing.
Now then, I wonder how Brent is feeling tonight. I wonder how Brent feels that his beloved Forest have actually witnessed this, have actually been a witness for Manchester City. Now, if anybody's wondering who I mean by Brent, well, because some say that is supposed to be his real name. I'm on about Mark Goldbridge here, by the way, guys. Yes, apparently Mark Goldbridge is not really a Man United fan. He's really a Forest fan. That's what I've seen online, and a lot of people have said that. Now then, if whatever his name is, Brent Goldbridge, we know it's Mark Goldbridge. But look, he done a video last week, and I watched it on Friday, whilst lying on the sofa, not feeling well. But I watched it on Friday, and I could not believe, not just once, but twice, he had to mention Newcastle United. And what he said about Newcastle United was, he said, so Man City, because he said, Man City hadn't won this case, by the way, which I'm wondering how he knew this, but, when in fact they have won some of this case. So anyway, he said, well, it's like Newcastle United going out and saying, let's get Visit Saudi, and they put £1 billion a weekend for sponsorship. He says they can go out and splash the cash on whoever they want then. And then he started talking again about City and all that. And then he went, and then he says, yes, it's like Newcastle. Like I said, it's like Newcastle United getting Visit Saudi and getting £1 billion a week. And I thought, why are you dragging us through this? Why are you keep dragging our name up? And I just wonder, how are you feeling tonight, Mark Goldbridge? Because I bet you're not happy, man, at all. I bet you're a very, very unhappy, either Forest or Man U, whoever you support. I don't know which team it is. If Forest is your allegiance, why don't you go and follow them? Why are you following Man U? Are you the plastic Man United fan? Is that what you are? Because, people like you are idiots. And I tell you what, Goldbridge, I hope you're enjoying yourself tonight, and I hope you share a glass to Man City because they've done us proud. Because I tell you what, the debt Man U have got. I hope these rules come into force over that as well if you've got owner loans as well. And I bet Mr. Ratcliffe's arse is doing that tonight. I bet it is. But yeah. What about you, John?
Yep, 110%. I mean, look, he loves having a go at Newcastle United. Do you know what I mean? I've been watching his videos these days, but from what I've heard, it didn't look a good picture, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I tell you what, he'd be eating humble pie tonight. I'm telling you. And surely now, we've beat these before. Our record since the takeover has been pretty good. Yeah. We only lost once, I think. And that was the way last season. Yeah. Again, I was so peeved off when we lose to United. So peeved off. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. But yeah, he's not going to be happy tonight. AFT, they ain't going to be happy about this, you know. And other big YouTubers as well, because they know full well that Newcastle and Tony, remember you said we're the elephant in the room? It's been proved tonight. What a time to be a Newcastle fan. And I just hope now the Premier League sees sense and give us those sponsorships ASAP. Otherwise, we'll be taken into court. And I'll tell you something, like I said to you earlier on, we'll cook them up. We'll cook them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Julie says he's talked about it in his non-football channel.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say it's great to see where Man U are struggling in 14th place, you know. I mean, it's great that, isn't it, you know? And it, you know, it doesn't matter who beats Man United. They will not get the credit for beating them. This is what I'm saying. I mean, because obviously I haven't done a show for a while. So Tottenham and Man United, when Tottenham took Man United to the cleaners, I could not believe all that Sky were going on about was, oh, the crisis, Man U, look at this, look at the state they're in. Look. And I thought, hang on a minute. What about Tottenham Hotspur? Give them credit. They've just gone out there and hammered them 3-0. Tottenham could have won 5 or 6-0 at Old Trafford. You know, but no, they won't give them credit. Like last year when we played them in the Carabao Cup game, and we started that game with 6 fullbacks, and we took them apart 3-0. All they went on about was, oh, Man U crisis, Man U crisis. None like, oh, by the way, Newcastle had a weak side, and look at the team Newcastle couldn't even field a full team because that start with 6 fullbacks and went out there and won 3-0. How well did Newcastle do? No, that wasn't said. It's all about the crisis at Man U. Who gives a toss what's going on at Man U? Just because Eric Ten Hag is not a great manager. And remember, we looked at this manager before Eddie Howe come in as well, and apparently didn't want to come to us. He wanted the Man U job. Well, I tell you what, we've had a lucky escape looking at that. You know? And the thing is, this is what gets me about Sky. They're so invested in Man United. I'm not being funny when I say this, and if there's any Man United fans in the chat, I do apologise now. I'm not going to apologise, but I'm sorry. Man United are not the big draw that people think they are. They used to be a big draw when Alex Ferguson was there. Man U are a team in decline. They are a club in decline. That's why they're languishing 14th in the Premier League. They're only a few points away from the drop zone. Nothing would give me greater pleasure than to throw a party live on air if they got relegated. Because I tell you now, if they get relegated, we're having a party on here. We are going to have the music going. We're going to have the beers going. We are going to have one hell of a celebration. Because I tell you what, to watch the demise and the fall of Man United would be absolutely hilarious. And that would be karma at its greatest.
Tony.
Take that one, Ratcliffe.
I tell you what it is, right? I mean, there's a club called Hamburg, right? They've never been relegated for the Bundesliga, right? Never been relegated. They flew to relegation about 3 times in the Bundesliga, right? Got away with it every single time. But karma caught them, yeah? They're a massive club. Got relegated, and this is a 5th season trying to get out of the league, and it hasn't worked, hasn't helped. Yeah, that football club needs to be back in the Bundesliga. I'm telling you, but they're fantastic club, but just got no money, and they still get 60,000 every week. By the way,
made me laugh yesterday when Man United decided that, let's drop De Ligt in Martinez and let's put Maguire and Evans in at centre back, and I'm like, is this manager looking to get the sack or something? You know, it's just laughable. It really is laughable. I mean, look, there's another thing. I mean, I saw a video tonight, and Carly Sovikol was talking on Sky. And I think that man needs to be either fired from Sky or he needs to be in some serious trouble, because of what he come out with tonight was absolutely disgraceful.
Who said
And
this,
I can't
Tony?
stand this Carly Sovikol on Sky.
Yeah.
And I can't stand this bloke, by the way. I don't like this bloke. He's too smarmy for me. And he turned around and he said, now with these rules, he says Newcastle could now come out with fake sponsorships. And I thought, how dare you? How dare you? I thought, fake sponsorships. Who does he think he is? What do you think of that, John?
He should be in trouble for that, for saying that. I just think I don't know who he supports, but I think he's
Man United, I think.
Is he? That's just, well, explains a little bit, doesn't it? Listen, it's a bit spiky coming out and saying that. Like, is he jealous as well? Come out and say, is he just jealous? Because another bitter fan. Because
they're running scared, John. They're running scared now. That's why they're running scared.
Yeah, fact.
Because these rules are now wide open, so now they're running scared. That's what it is.
I agree. I totally agree, man. And I tell you what, it's getting worse. It's getting absolutely worse. And that club is, like I said, they're in decline. And I tell you what, now we're going to win the title before they do. We're going to win the title before they do under this ownership, yeah? Because I tell you what, it's going to take them about 10 years for them to win the title, because the squad they got there are not good enough, yeah, to win a title, yeah? Marcus Rashford, right? I like him, but does he really want to play for the club? Does he want to play for Ten Hag? I'm not so sure. Looking at his performances, and Ten Hag. Now, people saying that Ten Hag should be sacked. Then who's going to take his place? Who are they going to get? Tommy Tuchel. He's already turned it down in the summer because he said it's the wrong time. Is he going to change his mind? Is he going to work with the players that he's got? Because I tell you something, you look at that team and thinking, I tell you what, I'm not going anywhere near that club. No way. No way.
I don't want Ten Hag sacked. I want him to stay. I want him to stay all year so we can go and beat them again.
Yeah, I can see Ten Hag coming in, like, you know what I mean? End of the day, right? I mean, look, I've got
give him a new 10-year deal.
Yeah, I've got lots of Man U friends on social media, right? And I get on with them really, really well through social media and YouTube to that as well. And you know what? They said to me they are backing Ten Hag. I mean, there's no way they don't want him sat. It's the players got to take responsibility. Do you know what I mean? I've got Faz coming on Wednesday night. He's a big United fan. He was on Zai's TV. And I tell you what, he's Ten Hag out all day long. It's going to be very interesting to see what you have to say. It's worth checking out. And someone else could come on as well. She's going to let me know first this week. She can make it on Thursday. If not, it'll have to be next week. And she's a big YouTuber called Alice.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, Nick says he'd party all year if Man U got relegated.
Big up, Nick.
Man U, the local job centre, their stadium is a shower. It is, absolutely. It's Old Trafford Falls. Mama Flossie says that would be madness.
Madness.
Scott says, calm Tony, you might upset the Man U fan. I don't care for upset Man U fans, Scott. I couldn't care less, mate. Honestly, I really couldn't. I hate Man U. Never liked Man U. And you know what? It would just be absolutely mad. It'd just be a dream if they actually do go down, because we will party. Evening says Pete. Good evening to you, Pete. Jump on, mate. The links there if you want to jump on. Carl says, miss you, Tony. Hi, mate. Hope you're well.
Big up, Carl. Good.
Yeah. Nick says United need to be in the Championship. Man United, yes, absolutely. Billy says if they got relegated, I'd love Sky Sports to follow them. Yeah, absolutely. Evans was the man of the match, was he?
Yeah, he was apparently.
God.
That just goes to show when you're running a match. What does that really say to the team?
Yeah, but I was.
They got some good players there, Tony. Go on.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game because I was watching the women. So there you go.
I didn't watch it, mate. I did see that chance. I mean, I tell you what, Darrow must have saved the Hanks' neck with that block right at the end because that was going in.
Would make my day if they got relegated, absolutely. Craig says scaremongering, it's what they did to push through their illegal rules, absolutely. Nick says if City got relegated, we still come back up. And the title before them, absolutely, mate. Southgate, yeah, he can go there, can't he? Or even Potter. Can the America company supported financially by PIF buy the rights to the Premier League coverage? If so, Sky don't have it anymore. I mean, look, Netflix are massive money amounts. And I tell you what, wouldn't surprise me if Netflix come in and took them. And then that would put Sky out the way, wouldn't it? Julie's Ten Hag in. I'm 100% convinced that if we build a new stadium, as much as I love St James's Park, we need to move forward with the time and challenge the top six, absolutely. Ten Hag at the wheel, absolutely. Potter says Billy. Coffee says Bruce. Oh, God. Catherine says, hope Barleg stays at Man United. He's doing a cracking job. Yes, he is. Absolutely.
Good go, Catherine. Hope you well. Do sub me channel, man.
Bruce says, wacky. I'm back in 10. I give him a 20-year deal. I have a lot of Liverpool fan friends too who hate Man United, says Julie. Back 10 Hog, they'll in the championship. Yeah, absolutely. Bruce and Man, new job. Once Ten Hag gets the boot. Yeah, he lost his first game as Blackpool boss, but never mind. Good things come to those who wait. Yeah, he is. There's Pete.
All right.
Hi, Pete. You all right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you, Pete. Right, Pete. First of all, I just want to get your thoughts on these APT rules that Man City have won. Now, obviously, the Premier League are claiming a little bit of a victory, but Man City are claiming the bigger victory here.
Yep.
So I'll just give you a little recap, Pete. So basically, for Man City. Sorry, here we go. Right. So Man City, the witnesses for the Premier League included Man United, which is no surprise, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Brighton, and West Ham. Then Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham and Wolves wrote letters in support of the rules. And obviously we know Chelsea, ourselves, Forest and Everton backed City in this and were witnesses. What's your thoughts on this, Pete?
Well, hopefully it's now going to help us get those extra sponsorship deals that we really, really need in, which is what can help boost our FFP and PSO, because we do need them. We really do need them, because we don't want to go down this route and keep having to sell young talent or a lot of top players. So hopefully this will help us, because we need the training kit sponsors are really what we need. That's one of them we really need.
Yeah, so training ground sponsor, training kit.
And again, it just shows the Premier League were there to protect a certain amount of clubs. There is a cartel there. You can't deny it.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter was there to stop us as soon as our takeover.
Yeah,
because they knew they couldn't stop the takeover.
Exactly.
They had to put something else in.
Yes, they tried to do it so well. It just shows they are shit scared. Well,
and
guess what?
What about the fact that they were sitting on Man City's 2 sponsorship deals, which they've now been told to put through?
There you are. Hopefully we can get some of that if they've tried to do it to us. Let's see how we go. Get them sorted, because you've just been found of being very unlawful.
Wacky says apparently Everton will struggle to fill the new stadium as they're building a job centre plus into it, so and for fans running to the hills.
Exactly.
Just got to make sure Ben Thievens not around.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I've got a couple of messages from Everton fans as well. While doing my matchday vlog on Saturday, big up to Everton fans that left us a good, lovely message. Thank you very much. And I met Everton fans as well. Done interviews with them as well. Go and check it out. And yeah.
Robert says, I left this live and came back 3 times. Tony, just like all times, my friend. No problem, mate. No worries. Yeah, I'm sorry I've been off for a little while, guys. Obviously, I was on holiday and then I came down with food poisoning and I just didn't have the energy to do any shows. I know it sounds bad, but I just didn't have the energy. Plus, I couldn't have done a show anyway because it might have been like I might have sat down for a minute and then I had to get up for this, So, look, yeah, I had to wait till I'm fully better, but I'm glad I'm fully recovered now, and thank God I am. Never had food poisoning before. First time I've had it, and I never want it back in my life again. I mean, another thing, Pete, as well. Well, having a laugh there about Man United. Obviously, Brent won't be very happy, will he? I'm talking about Mark Goldbridge, by the way. The Forest fan or Man United fan or Plastic Man United fan, whichever one you want to call him, because, nobody knows who he supports, really, do they? Look, he come out with a video last week and said that Man City hadn't even won this case. Right. Which is totally stupid to do. Not only that, he mentioned us twice in that video to say that if Newcastle had visited Saudi and we're getting £1 billion a week. And I thought, why are you mentioning us for? The man is obsessed. What's your thoughts for Goldbridge? I can't stand the bloke, if I'm honest. He's a knacker.
Sometimes he talks a lot of waffle, but you can't talk some good things. But yeah. Sorry, but your club's in absolute turmoil, is all I can say. A very, very poor draw against Aston Villa. I mean, I've not seen it, but from what I heard, that could have sent a glass eye to sleep.
And what about Carvier Solicol's comments on Sky when he said,
I can't
Newcastle could fake. He says Newcastle could fake sponsorship deals to get them through. And I thought, what an idiot.
I heard something about that. Yeah, idiot is all I can say. As if, would we ever do that? Get your head out your arse.
Coffee says, did you see the news of Sky cracking down on those using Fire Sticks to watch games? I've heard them. Look, this has gone on for years that they keep going on saying that, the end of the day, how are you going to physically find out who's streaming? I'm not being funny.
Exactly. Well, they're going to get everyone's IP address and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a load of codswallop, and I don't think they'll ever clamp down on it because I think too many people probably do it,
Yep.
Not that we promote that on here, by the way, but we're just saying, I'm just answering your question, Coffee. Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is, but I think you see a lot of it, but I think a lot of it's possibly down to scaremongering. They're probably more looking out for the people who supply these streams more than the people who are actually streaming it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So if somebody's sitting at home watching something, they may be fearing that a man with a blue uniform will be knocking at the door. They're probably looking more for the big people. They're looking for the big fish, not the little fish. They want the big fish. That's what they want.
Yep.
I mean, Pete, again, obviously you weren't on the live at the time. I got told, be calm because I might upset some Man U fans. I don't care how much I upset Man U fans. I really couldn't care less because I can't stand Man United. I mean, look, they're going through turmoil at the minute. They're 14th.
Yep.
Not only are they 14th, they're only a few points above the relegation zone. Nothing would give me greater pleasure than to see them relegated to the Championship. And I've said, Pete, and I've said this, and, if Man U go down, I will do a live. And, I will do a live. We'll have party going, we'll have music going, we'll have beer going and everything. Because I tell you what, it'll be the Man United relegation party, and it'll be a fantastic day to have because, nothing would be greater than to see them suffer in the Championship. And, would you join the party, Pete? Because I tell you what, it'd be a hell of a party, wouldn't it?
Well, it certainly would be. I mean, they're in a battle so far. I mean, it's not getting any better at the moment. It was an awful game yesterday. Porto game again, just very lucky to scrape out of that.
Slaphead.
And Spurs, they got absolutely rinsed completely. I mean, who's the next game against?
I ain't got a clue who they've got. Oh, Brentford next.
Brentford. That's not
Brentford, who score very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not going to be odd. Brentford are a decent team.
I like him. I think Tommy Frank's done a fantastic job at the club. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, right? I mean, look, Thomas Frank is so underrated, right? As a manager, yeah, plays good football. Brentford, right? He's flexible in his tactics. He plays a back three or play, and he plays 4-3-3, yeah. And I think Thomas Frank's going to be okay. He likes it at Brentford. Do you know what I mean? I can't see Brentford ever sacking this guy because he's a legend there. Do you know what I mean? He is safe as houses, this guy, But managing a club like United or Newcastle, right, or a bigger club, it's going to be a test for this guy. But I think he's happy at Leicester. Not Leicester, Brentford. He loves Brentford.
I look at Brentford this season and I think since Ivan Toney's gone, I think they've looked even better, if I'm honest.
Do you know what? Yeah, they have. I thought they would have struggled at first for that one, but do you know what? No problem. Look what they did to Wolves.
They're scoring quick goals as well, aren't they? First-minute jobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do.
Yeah.
Carl says, "Where's Rowley? I haven't seen Rowley for a while, mate. He hasn't been on for a while, to be honest with you." Shame the second biggest club in South Wales are losing to Bradford, says Mason. Who's that? Newport, is it? Goldbridge plays a character. It's all an act. Can the club take legal action against the Sky bloke?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Newport,
yeah, they could do.
3-1.
I don't know. Could they take action? I mean, look, he could be saying it's tongue-in-cheek stuff or whatever, but who knows? Sky may have said to him off air, look, don't say stuff like that or whatever, in case we end up in the court of law or whatever. But yeah, maybe. But I wouldn't have thought Newcastle would go down that route.
No.
I mean, look, it's 3 years now since the takeover went through. I mean, we all remember that very well. We remember that game down at Wolves at Molineux, 1-0 down. Then Jeff Hendricks scores the equaliser. Who? And then obviously Hwang gets his second goal. It's a miserable day for old Brucey boy there, standing in the pouring down rain, getting soaked. While Wolves go on and win 2-1. We're all thinking at the time, is this takeover going to happen?
We were just thinking relegation was on the way.
Yeah. And then a few days later, this takeover may go through. And I'm like, yeah, but I've heard this all before. So I wasn't getting excited at the time, but the more it was going on, I thought, maybe this is going through. I mean, can you remember very well, Pete?
Absolutely. Packs of our fans outside St. James's Park. Keith Downey there as well. And not to mention those words from Amanda Staveley. It's done.
Yeah, absolutely. John, your thoughts back then, 3 years ago?
Yeah, I was in Cardiff at the time. Keep it quiet because Mason might be listening. I was in Cardiff at the time and I heard the news. And I celebrated as we won the FA Cup. And there's a lass there. I gave her a massive hug. I picked her up as well. We got to take over. Yeah, didn't know who she was, but she didn't mind. She just said, you got, I could tell by the accent, you got, Newcastle got a takeover. And that's the reason why. So I was so in a mood. And it was brilliant. we got our club back. Yeah, we got our club back. And here we go. And then the rest is history. That was it. I wish I was up there, man. I wish I was there. Because I'll tell you something now, right? We got our club back. It's been a while, but those words actually made me decade.
Yeah.
Absolutely made me decade, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it was a great day, that, wasn't it? I mean, It was a bit of a nerve-wracking day because we were waiting for the final, and we were waiting just for that statement from the Premier League to say that it was put through. I think it took right up until 5 o'clock for the statement to come out. And I remember Keith Downey live on Sky, and he said, I've got the statement here, and, and it was like, yes, we got our club back. And, and some people still sort of say, well, why did we keep Bruce on? Why shouldn't we should have sacked him? But as I've always said, the reason I think they kept Steve Bruce on, because it was his 1000th game against Spurs. And if we had sacked him before then, the owners might have got a lot of bad press saying, the owners have been heartless. They've got rid of Bruce on 999 games, and we would never have lived it down. So I think the owners played a blinder there. So basically saying to Steve Bruce, you can have the next game.
But if it goes pear-shaped, it's...
Yeah, bye-bye. And that's exactly what happened. It went 3-2. We lost the game. And off went the...
started the game well, scored very early, but we just dived into a shell, let Spurs come out with.
Leave that tweet there a minute. Go back to that one, Andy. I was going to post something out this morning, right, regarding that Everton tweet. Yeah, I was absolutely furious. Now, if I was going to post something out there, guys, right, and then if I did, I get all the Toon fans, most of the Toon fans will be jumping on this. That's why I didn't say anything. That's why I held back.
Yeah.
Because I'll keep out of stuff like that now, guys, because I tell you something, right? I mean, it's well documented. I can't say too much on there because I tell you what, the trolls what you want listening to it, but I'll keep it there, leave it there. But you saw the tweet, didn't you, guys? You saw that tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, talking about... obviously talking about Everton, very disappointed with them as a football club, by the way. Yes, I know Everton, they've helped in this case, they've been a witness in this case. What I think for what they did on Saturday, and as a professional club as well, to put it on your own club account, which you have a yellow tick for as well, Everton. I think it's very bad taste and very poor from a professional club, in my opinion. If anybody hasn't seen, I'm going to pop it on for you. Obviously, it's to do with Gordon. So if nobody's seen this, I will pop this on for you. And you can tell me what you actually think of it. Because to be honest with you, I think it's disgusting. They may think it's hilarious, but we don't. Here we go.
And look who has the ball in his hand. And look.
Now, that for me, it's a bit childish. He's left the club. Yeah, okay, fair enough. He didn't just leave the club, he left the shambles of a club. That's what he left.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's absolutely disgusting for them to actually do that. And for a professional football club to do something like that, and not only just a professional club, but they're actually a Premier League club as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this is what Jamie Carragher had to say, because he had his say about this, and he weren't happy either. He said, a local lad who came through your academy, helped keep you up under Lampard, wanted out because the club was a shambles on and off the pitch, and who you then sold for £40 million, the People's Club.
Mm-hmm.
So Carragher slammed them for that and wasn't happy at all. And I mean, what do you think of that, Pete? That's just stupidity, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely, it is.
What do you think of that, John?
What's the point?
Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I'll tell you now, right? I mean, this is a player that's been at your club since he was 6 years old, right? Up until he was, 21, 22? Maybe 21. And you know what, right? I mean, and that's the way you treat a local lad, right? Force him out of the club because of what's going on. Then he comes to Newcastle. Now, I spoke to a few Everton fans on Saturday, and they told me that Gordon is a rat, yeah? Maybe some of the fan base, right? And I'm sorry to say this, right? Some of the fan base is has to go at him, also a rat as well. Because at the end of the day, right? There are some good Everton fans. There are some disgusting Everton fans, yeah? There's a minority, yeah? And I'm not yet once come across a bad Everton fan, especially at Goodison Park, yeah? But Tony, that tweet, whoever released that tweet should be sacked because that
it'll be obviously the Everton. It'll be whoever does their Twitter account. Like, we have somebody doing the Newcastle one, so whoever's doing the Everton one, I suppose, has put that out there. But then
should be sacked.
But then the club's allowed it, so the club ain't bothered, are they? They're getting taken over, so they don't care less.
Disgraceful, man. Disgraceful.
Catherine said, should have heard the way Cundy and Jennings went on about Everton not getting the penalty on TalkSport. Honestly believe if any other club were playing Everton and not us, they would have mentioned. It
wasn't a penalty.
It wasn't. He kicked Dan Burn in the back of the leg. That is why VAR went with the referee. If the VAR thought for 1 minute that it was a penalty, they would have sent Craig Pawson to the monitor like they did for the first 4 hours. I mean, I don't know what Tarkowski's thinking of in the box. I mean, grabbing a hold of Tonali the way he shoved him down. I mean, we all had a laugh about Paul Dummett and his WWE, but that was worse than what Dummett's was, let's be honest. And I mean,
yep.
And Tarkowski's then arguing about it, saying it's not a penalty. Is the man an idiot? And, it's, you don't do nothing in a box now because it's going to be picked up by VAR. If Pawson had gave that penalty for Calvert-Lewin, then I don't think VAR would have overturned that. That's the only thing. So we're just going to say thank you, Mr. Pawson, for not giving them the penalty.
Yeah.
And making their job a lot easier.
And apart from the disallowed goal, which was definitely offside.
Oh, it was offside, yes.
Everton, apart from probably one chance, I think it was, as well, offered nothing.
Pete, second half, it was Calvert-Lewin had a shot, which is brilliant save, low down by Nick Pope.
Yep, but other that's it.
That's as good
they
as
did nothing.
I'll tell you some guys as well, if you're going to get into European football next season, right, these are the teams we're going to have to beat. We should be beating these, yeah? I know people say they're delighted with a point. I tell you what, Pete.
I think Everton will be happy with a point more than us because we've had plenty of opportunities.
Exactly. We just
win that game. And the fact is, ever since Isak's gone missing, 2 goals scored. And they're not been from open play. They've been from penalties.
I'll tell you something else as well, yeah.
The Gordon one against Manchester City, and of course the Fabian Schär one against Wimbledon, which just shows we need our strikers back now. Whether it's Isak, whether it's Wilson, why isn't Osilak coming on and getting a bit of game time as well?
I'll tell you what it is, Pete, right? I mean, that Osula, right? I mean, look, I know he's young and experienced. I said this before, yeah. I'm not gonna tap out of this guy yet, but I tell you something, right? We should have gone for an experienced striker coming in.
Should have done
that. But idea, right? From Salernitana, who scored a Lazio on a 2-year loan deal, right? Because the Lazio owner also owns Salernitana, Lito, right? So you got him on 2-year deal, right? And this guy's rocking it up in a minute. He is on fire. But
should have got some game time. At least you're playing a striker because Gordon, even though he wasn't too bad, apart from you got to take about the penalty miss, he kind of do it there, really. I mean, the penalty miss, of course, but that chance where he blazed over the bar, just keep the shot down.
That's all you got to do. Keep it down. Don't go for glory. Place it. Force keeper into a safe. And they haven't done that, you know what I mean?
I was really baffled why Harvey Barnes was taken off very early Because Murphy, I didn't think it was any. Because Murphy didn't impress me at all. He should have been the first one taken off.
Thing is, right? We know, obviously, it was something to do with Tyndall that he wanted to bring Asula in.
Still
Now
give him
then.
a bit of game time, you would say.
But the thing is, right? Asula's played 46 league games and scored 2 goals. Those 2 goals that he scored were against Accrington Stanley in League One for Derby County, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now then, the thing is, right? Why didn't I don't understand this from our club, right? Now, as I say, we're spending 10 million plus 5 million add-ons, so that's 15 million quid for Asula. I can see there's something there that they want to try and get his talent brought through. But you go to Ipswich and you see them, they're saying Liam Delap from Manchester City for £14.9 million.
And he's got 4 goals.
And he's got 4 goals in 7 Premier League games.
Yep.
Now, he would have been perfect in our squad, and I reckon we could have got him. But obviously, we weren't looking at him for some reason. And I don't know why. Because again, he could now bang these goals in for Ipswich. Yes, okay, they got well beaten on Saturday. But there's a chance they could turn that around now. He could bang them in, say, 15 goals this season. Them goals help keep Ipswich up. And then he's worth triple what they paid for him at least. You know?
Yep.
I'm just gobsmacked. Why weren't we all over this? You know?
Could have done. But
I tell you, this is the thing, guys. Right? I mean, I don't know who said. I think it might be Ronnie. Don't go for potential. Get someone from the now. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Go for someone for now, because I tell you what, right? I mean, we're gonna need a striker for January as well, because
we need Isak. If
we need Isak back, and we also need, believe it or not, get Wilson. Well, Wilson could be on his way. I mean, if he goes, he goes. Yeah,
I think we're going to need that. The fact is, if one of those two had played, we win that game.
Yeah.
I think we would have, because they would have demanded balls coming into them. Well, Callum Wilson in particular would be as well. But I just pray and hope we've got them after the international. Him and both of them are back after the break, because it's Brighton after the break. And that's not going to be easy. If we are not playing a striker in that game, it could be an absolute uphill struggle. It really, really will be, because, as I mentioned, 2 goals from 2 penalty kicks when we haven't had a striker on the pitch. When we haven't had Isak particularly on the pitch. That's quite concerning, in my opinion.
Agree, Pete. Agree.
And I noticed from between the Everton game and the Wimbledon game, I think someone else pointed this out. Well, I think it was actually Chip Ezzo actually pointed this out yesterday. Right. The Wimbledon game, look how many low balls were coming into the box. I think if you got a crossing, that might have had a chance for Asula to get a head onto that.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, there was a lot of balls coming into the box, but no one could get a head onto it. I mean, can you expect Gordon to get ahead? Are you expecting Gordon really to get a head onto a chance because of his height? Not really.
I mean, the thing is, if Asula had been on the pitch and that chance Gordon had that he put over the bar, I'm not saying Asula would have scored with it, but I bet he would have kept it down. I bet he would have kept that shot low, even if it was a save. I mean, look, we were unlucky in the first half as well. Before the penalty, Bruno's shot. Pickford was nowhere near it, and it came off Njai, off his back of his leg. I mean, he didn't know nothing about that. And I tell you what, let's be honest, that guy, Njai, by the way, I thought he had a terrific game for Everton. I thought he was terrific.
I thought he did well. I think Calvert-Lewin wasn't too bad, to be fair. I thought McNeil played quite well for them. The rest of their players I just wasn't impressed with.
Yeah.
I really wasn't impressed with them. I know Doucouré scored the goal there, which was disallowed, but I wasn't that impressed with him, unfortunately. Their defence could be really got at. The fact is, what else annoyed you? Why isn't Murphy taking on Ashley Young? If anyone noticed that in the game?
He's a pensioner.
Exactly. Why isn't players like Murphy taking him on?
And this is why some of our fan base are hyping this guy
as well.
This is why they hype.
Yeah.
I'll come on to Trippier in a minute, right? But I mean, Jacob Murphy, right? I mean, I think I've tried to support this guy, yeah. But you want to win trophies, you want to win trophies, you want to fight for top 4. Is this guy going to be a successful? No, he will not. But Trippier, I've noticed, like Pete, I don't know if you noticed as well, but when he goes into tackles, he misses. And he's done that quite a few times this season, gone for tackles, and he doesn't get there.
I mean, I thought Trippier was very disappointing at the weekend.
He was. I don't think he's having a particularly good season, to be fair. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, Livermental's in a way still a bit learning in my... but I was just very disappointed with Trippier.
I mean, he has another option. I mean, I was thinking, and actually, I pick up with Craig here because Craig sort of picks up on me. But before I go on to Craig's comment, now, another option could have been, you could have started with Asula, played Gordon left, Barnes on the bench, Murphy on the right. Now,
see, Barnes should be starting games for me now.
Yeah, but this is where my thought process is coming in, Pete. Look, I like Barnes. I think he's very good, but I watch him, and you may get 3 or 4 games out of him, but then after that, he goes inconsistent when he starts. Now, when you bring him off the bench as an impact sub, like he did against West Ham last season, he come on and he scored 2 goals. Now, I just think, is Barnes better as an impact sub than a starter? And I've said this for quite a while now, even before this season started. Is he better as an impact player than a starter? And even Craig saying Barnes is one-dimensional, cuts inside all the time. He's better as an impact player. I tried to cover him to a striker.
We tried a striker, but it didn't work, I thought, and that was against Bournemouth, I think it was last season.
It's tried to be a striker on a Saturday against Everton.
We need to try something different in attack a little bit because we had too much of Murphy and Miggy last season. I know Barnes was out with an injury, but I think Barnes just deserves his chance now this season for me.
But I want to see us having a goal. We love play possession football. We get that, but we're just passing the ball backwards as well. Sort of, we need to be forward very, very quickly if we can do that. Because look, Bruno had a good game. I thought George did all right, but again, his pass has been a letdown. I thought Murphy was poor. I thought Gordon tried his heart out. We get that. Do you know what I mean? But Fabian Schär pinged those balls really well. But again, some of them's gone over the top. But I'm not going to lie, but we've got Brighton coming up, Tony. The next 3 games is going to be so crucial. Brighton at home, away to Chelsea, again against Chelsea at home, and then we've got Arsenal at home. And I tell you what, and Forest away ain't going to be easy. Let me tell you that. Tony,
they're not going to be easy games, John.
They're not
going to be easy. Because
look at the way Brighton came back. Look at the way Brighton come back.
Against Spurs, yeah. Brighton are playing well under this new manager. And thrown the fact that Minty is going to have something to prove against us as well. And I honestly, I thought it was a good performance at Everton, but the fact we couldn't beat them is concerning.
That was my concern as well.
I think if we don't turn up against Brighton, they will take us apart. Let's be honest.
We've got to be on our game.
Chelsea away will be a very hard game as well.
Yeah,
down Stamford Bridge, and then we got them 3 days later in the Cup at home as well.
But the thing is, though, ask you a question. Do you feel confident going in against Brighton? Because I've got to be honest with you guys, I'm not.
If we've got our strikers back, we may have a chance. But if we don't, then it's going to be hard.
Wilson can't play much because he hasn't hardly. No. Well, he's never kicked a ball, has he? So
no. Well, it's going to be Isak likely to start if he is back as well. So
let's just hope Wilson doesn't come on and break a toenail and then see he's out for 6 months.
Oh God, hopefully not. Paddy, 3 England players have pulled out of England's next game.
Yeah, they have. Gibbs White, Mainu, and
Konsa have pulled out.
Konsa.
Yeah, he went off injured, didn't he?
Yeah, Konsa got an injury, yeah. Wacky says, you're going back in for Guy and Jan again. But already in the process of getting the striker who can play on the left.
The thing is, I've not been funny, right? We should have moved on from him now because his form has been absolutely poor. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's just
They're the
what
bottom
papers
six,
are bringing out, John. It's the media that keeps saying it, but I don't think we're going in for him because
No.
We shouldn't be.
another media outlet said apparently he doesn't want Newcastle. He wants to go to Liverpool.
Let
They
them go
could
to
have
Liverpool
him.
then.
They could have him then.
They can have him.
Yeah.
Take him.
If he said that, guys, we don't want a player who's going to come. It's going to be unhappy. We want a player who's going to come and win a badge and play for the. This is what you guys say. If you,
That, of course.
you play for the badge, the front of your shirt, and the fans going to remember years from the back of your shirt. Am I right?
And apparently we are in for a striker, and apparently it's Jonathan David. Paul Mitchell is going in for him from Lille because he's out of contract next summer, so he'll only have 6 months left.
But
So
bad
we
news,
could possibly, it's a deal, possibly go to Lille and say, look, there you go, we'll give you 10 million, take him off your hands. So, you know, and apparently, according to an Italian newspaper, we are actually leading the chase for him over Juventus and AC Milan.
Inter wants him as well.
Yeah, but apparently we're leading the chase according to the Italian paper, Gazzetta dello Sport. But again, remember, Mitchell's got good contacts in France, so who knows? Thing is, if we do get him, I think that'll be a cracking signing. That'll be a replacement for Wilson, because Wilson will be gone in January. What made me laugh the other day was an article saying that the player that's wanted in Saudi or in the US is Miggy Almiron with a £60 million release clause. And I nearly burst out laughing, thinking, what? I thought, well, I'll tell you what, if a Saudi club pays 60 million quid for Almiron, I'll literally pay for his plane ticket tomorrow. He can go.
Fact. I mean, Julie's saying that take Mitoma as well. Brighton will not let him go on the cheap. He'd be going for about between 17 and 80 million quid, that guy. And I tell you what, right, if he's available, I'll take this guy all day long because I think this guy is brilliant. That guy is brilliant.
I can't
and if
see
you do
Brighton
get
letting
Japanese,
him go.
nah, I can't see it neither. But the Bright Star selling club, if the right offer comes along, then they will go.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I don't feel that confident unless it depends. Depends how we start off against Brighton. But they are a good team under Fabian Hürzeler. I mean, remember, he's only a 31-year-old manager, and look at, nobody heard of him coming into this, into the Premier League. And now he's just, he's, I mean, even Lewis Dunk, his captain's older than what the manager is. It's madness, isn't it?
It is.
It is silly, but yeah. I mean, we've got 2 England games coming up. We got Greece and then we got Finland on Sunday. Greece, I think, may be a tough nut on Thursday, but we'll get a chance to see how Vlachodimos does in goal in the players. I mean, do you think we'll beat Greece, Pete?
We'll see what happens. We should do.
Will Gordon have his shooting boots on?
We'll just wait and see. We should do.
Got 2 games, haven't we? So,
what about you, John? Do you think we'll beat Greece?
We should do, but depends. We should do. It's going to be. I mean, Greece are an absolute tough side to crack at the minute, and it's going to be very, very interesting. But I expect us to win. We've got the quality there, but it won't be easy. I'm going to go 1-0 England.
Mason says, look at Duran. He's one of the best impact players in the league, isn't he?
Just signed a contract extension at Villa. Just signed an extension today.
But this is why I'm saying we need to be exploring other markets like Villa have done. South American market, I think they got him cheap, and look how well he's playing. This is why you don't just go with tried and trusted in the Premier League. You go abroad and you go to other markets.
Truly good grief.
What she said.
Wait till you get to it.
Gibbswaite's injured. Where's grease spot with a chip pan?
That's it.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Vlachodimos does in goal. Do you know what? He'll either go one or two ways. He'll either have a blinder and England can't get past him, or he'll have an absolute mare in goal and we'll score a shipload past him. But, you know, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look, that cup game against Wimbledon, it was awful, wasn't it? Let's be honest. That was an awful game.
We controlled it, but just very little quality. That was the thing.
It's just like a training session, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
It was like, actually, I'll tell you what it was like watching a pre-season game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. His distribution is very good. I mean, it was against Wimbledon.
Particularly when they were throwing the long balls in the box, he just came out immediately and grabbed it.
Yeah. Compared to Dubs. No cutting edge, says Lee, Craig says as well. Yeah, absolutely, Craig. No cutting edge, nothing. I mean, you know, we scored from a penalty. Took a penalty to beat Wimbledon.
Yeah, this is the thing. We just can't break down low block sides as well, which I'm disappointed with. We should have the quality to do it. Yeah, but also as well, we've got no pace in that team at all whatsoever, especially at the back. We've got no pace at all at the back. And that's what we're lacking. Look at Nicky van der Ven, right? That guy. I know you don't rate him, Tony, but I do. I think he's a really good player. Look at the first goal against Old Trafford. That cross for Brendan Johnson. Yeah?
Well, I didn't rate him, John. I just said when we played Tottenham at St James's Park last season.
Yeah.
Considering he was one of the best defenders in the Premier League, we made him look ordinary, if not worse. Terrible.
Because did that day.
He had a terrible game that day. He couldn't cope with us.
No. True.
And that is the thing. But I mean, look, we've got, like I say, we're just against Brighton. We'll have to be on our A game. Simple as.
They got ballers in that team. They got ballers there. Welbeck's playing his best football career at top. Yeah, I mean, Pedro, will he be fit? We don't know. Minte, he's got proof. A point of proof. Mitoma, that guy is absolutely. He is the real deal on the left side of midfield. Yeah. Midfield very strong. The back four, Lewis Dunk is the leader of all men. Yeah, but is Tony? I tell you what, we got to be on an A game. If we don't not on an A game, then we could be in big trouble. Yeah.
I mean, Manchester United are 5 points above the drop zone, by the way, guys. I mean, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they were playing well last season under Gary O'Neill. What's happened this season? I mean, they're
two
just
things haven't replaced Neto or Kilman, and that's been their problem.
It's the same with Palace. They haven't replaced Elise, and that's why they look so bad.
Yep, could well be. They brought in Ketia as well, he's not highly rated.
Ketia? No, he's
he
not.
He left Mateta on the bench. Didn't start him.
Julie says...
You figure out Eze played as a left winger. He's not a left winger.
Imagine Bruno Fernandes crying in the Championship.
Dear me, he'd not be there.
Craig says we've gone from on the highest XGs to having one of the top goals scored last year to struggling to make chances from open play. Mm-hmm. The only thing we've changed is moved Gordon from left wing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last time we scored a goal from open play was Harvey Barnes against Fulham.
Yep.
You know, needs to improve.
Oh, has to.
But Isak's not been on fire this season either yet.
Well, we'll wait and see. Has he been playing with that injury?
Maybe. Who knows?
Hopefully. I think Isak just needs to get in the gym a bit and just get himself thingied up. I think he just needs to get a bit of
absolutely.
muscle.
Right, guys and girls, we're going to be coming to the end of the show, but look, before we go, we'll go around the chat as well. And thank you to Ian. He is gifted a membership as well, so thank you very much to Ian for that. And the recipient of that membership is Funkenstein. So Funkenstein, you are now a member of It's All Black and White TV. Right, I'll come to you, John. Do you want to let people know what you got coming up on the channel and where they can find you?
Okay, thank you very much for having us on, Tony. I really appreciate that. And we can find us on John Sinclair TV. And please, guys, if you can go to my latest vlog I've done, the match day vlog, and also, most importantly, it's the Bath travel vlog I've done. Please smash a like on that one, please, before you leave the show tonight, please, guys. It'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. I've got to come up on Wednesday. I've got Faz coming on. He's part of Saeed crew. He's a big Man U fan, and they're going to talk about his team, how he become a podcaster, how he what's going on in his club in a minute. We're going to talk about my team as well, but it's going to be very interesting. If Ten Hag gets sacked tomorrow, because they've got a meeting tomorrow in London, by my understanding, if he gets sacked, that'd be a perfect advantage to get that guy on. So that'd be brilliant. And hopefully Thursday, maybe it's Friday, Alice is coming on if I can get her on. I think she's off to see a friend, so she's gonna let me know. So, Charlie Bennett on Wednesday. So I'm gonna do two shows, one 6:30, 7:30, and I'm gonna do one with Thursday 8:00. So I'm doing 2 live streams on Wednesday. So check it out, guys.
Nice one, John. Nice one.
I think I just double check it, Charlie. I think it's Wednesday for him. So yeah, keep us posted.
Nice one. And what about you, Pete?
So find me on the PD Prowlock. Do check out the match review in the play range yesterday, and also the quick thoughts outside of Goodison Park. So far, nothing tomorrow because it's my birthday tomorrow, so I might be a little
Happy
bit
birthday,
busy.
man.
So I'm sure I'll have a good time tomorrow. Wednesday, I'll have a look. Thursday, I'll see what's going on. But Friday, we'll be back with the Crazy PD's Football Live show. That'll be back, though, because we were off on Friday. But we should be back with that this week. So again, PD Prowlock.
Oh, wacky man. He says, I wonder when your new Brazilian left-back, Exima, will get to play.
Oh, God.
Have you ever known that one? No. So, yeah, obviously, first stream back for a while. Sorry it's been a while, guys, but as I say, fortunately, I wasn't well, so I wasn't able to do anything last week, but I'm back this week. Coming up this week, I'm going to do the pre-match for the England games. So that'll be on Thursday and Sunday as well. And there'll be other shows during the week as well. So do keep an eye open for that as well. It's great to be back, by the way. But as I say, as always, you know where you can find my channel. You're on it anyway. As this has been stream shared, do go around and give all the channels a like and a subscribe. That'd be fantastic. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, then do smash that like button. That'd be fantastic. Also, do hit the subscribe as well. It does help the channel grow. And also hit the bell notification to keep you up to date with any future shows as well. So that's what's basically coming up on the channel this week. All normal service is resumed again, which is great. Right, let's get into some comments. Isak wasn't getting the service, no. He got shoot from range, very low block, test the keeper and follow up, says Wacky. Absolutely, mate, on Anthony Gordon. Ronald didn't know that we had a show on tonight. I know sometimes they don't they don't inform me. It's ridiculous. And they're supposed to when you hit that bell as well. Henry Ray Baker says, hi, John and panel and chat. Good evening to you, Henry.
Big up, Henry. Scouser, big Liverpool fan. He's happy at the minute.
Yeah. Ian says, sorry not being the chat much. Flu vaccine today, feel rough. Hey, mate, we know what they're like. They're awful, aren't they? But, it's better to have it, though, as well. That's the main thing. People are saying happy birthday, Pete, for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, 50 tomorrow. He's not doing too bad, is he? Not long till he gets his pension. What you hoping, Pete?
Oh, no.
Good to have you back, Tony. Thank you very much indeed. I think if Isak bulked up, he would lose agility and pace. It's a fine line.
I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Great show, guys, says Ian. Thank you very much, Ian. Catherine says, hope you're feeling better, Tony. Food poison's awful. Yes, it is. First time I've had it, and no, I will not make sure I do not get that again.
No.
Good night, everyone. Take care. Happy birthday, Mr. Proudlock, says Wacky.
Big up, Wacky.
I'll get Galan to sing happy birthday.
Oh, oh no.
No? Would you not like that?
Oh, God.
I mean, yeah. Gary D says,
Cheers,
happy
Gary.
birthday, Pete. What he says, hit the great show, Tony, hit the likes. Thank you very much indeed. I mean, yeah, look. Yeah, your birthday tomorrow, and I'm sure you'll have a good day. Well, are you off tomorrow or are you at work?
No, I am working. But later on,
You're going to have a few drinks, are you, Pete?
see what happens.
Why not? Why not? Have a few drinks, watching Emmerdale or whatever.
Oh, God.
I nearly said Dallas. I was going to say, bloody hell, that's years ago, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There again, you may go back and watch, I don't know, you might watch things in Newcastle United. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's laughing because I've said that.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. You might want to know who shot you are.
Mm-hmm.
Or you might be feeling musical after Julie tonight and go and watch Grease.
Oh.
So there's plenty there to watch, Pete. Plenty there to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always sit and watch Off We the Same Pet. Great show that was, Off We the Same Pet, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic that. When you watch it back from the 80s and you think, my God, but hey, what a show, what a show. And talking about shows that are coming back, I mean, Bullseye's coming back to ITV, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Freddie Flintoff's doing it and in the new year. And I hope they keep it the same as what they did with Jim Bowen. It was fantastic back then. You could win a speedboat back then, but, I'm surprised. Yeah. I think the prize would be a bit more than a speedboat now, or when they used to come up and say, in one, you can win a teas made. In two, you can win a cutlery set. Honestly, it makes you laugh, doesn't it? But gosh, when you watch these shows back now and you think, my God, you look at the prices and you think, God, did they really exist back then? Guinness on Challenge, still the same prices. Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, it's on Challenge, isn't it? Yeah. I don't mind watching. I was watching Off the Same Pet the other week. I think it's absolutely class. That it's brilliant. It's funny when Oz gets on they go and watch the match in Belgium because the Mackhams are playing. And Oz falls asleep and gets put on the plane thinking that he wakes up and he's in England. It's back in Newcastle.
Oh.
He's got a Sunderland scarf around his neck. Actually, talking about that, has anybody seen that video going around where the guy gets his Sunderland cake? And
it's black and white in the middle.
It's got black and white in the middle.
Yes.
That was fantastic. And a shame, by the way, that the women lost yesterday 1-0 to
Oh,
Durham
never
last
mind.
minute.
Keep
That's
your
it.
heads up,
Um,
ladies.
Yeah, they should have put their chances away though in the first half. To be fair, I mean, yes, Tatiana Saunders for Durham, she pulled off some class saves in that first half, but there was some other chances like Shania Hales had and should have put them away in the back of the net. But look, we've got the Mackhams away on Sunday. We got to go and beat them now at the Stadium of Light.
We have
And
to, yes.
you're going to that one, Peter, I believe.
I am, yes.
So I hope it's a good crowd. I hope it's a big crowd in there. I hope
Mm.
Newcastle sell our allocation out and, let's hope we go and beat the Mackhams. We've got to beat the Mackhams. We can't lose to them. We've got to have the bragging rights. But look, it's all about consolidation in this league this season. I think we don't expect promotion. I don't think they'll go down because I think the worst team in that league is going to be Portsmouth by the looks of things. They are absolutely dreadful, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They got battered off London City yesterday. So I think, Portsmouth, there's only one team going down, and I think Portsmouth will be the one that goes down. So, I mean, it's a shame for them, but, they're going to be they're going to be the wooden spoon of that league, unfortunately. But they'll be the strongest team because they're holding everybody else up.
Yeah, that's it.
Ron says, I'm not going to go totally into detail, but in 9 it was with the X-Nal.
In 1.
In 1. Slap. Actually, had Dusty Bin. Oh my God, that's old, isn't it? Jesus, psychonating nostalgia, isn't it?
It is. It is.
But
Can't
yeah. Anyway, guys and girls, that is it. We are off now. But thank you very much. It's been a cracking show, and we'll see you all on the next one. Till then, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white, and it's how we're the lads and the lasses.
We're the
Yeah,
lads.
lads.
We're the lasses.